Hello students, this is Mr. Simons. So now we're on to the game build. We're actually going to build this game, and I gave you a couple of demos to look at here. This one is relatively simple. Here, let's see if I can remember how to do this. Okay. Oh, I crashed. Look at that. There we go. See, I bypassed the goal there. He didn't actually touch the goal. And boom. Okay, so this is the one that was built by, I built this one, and it follows the tutorial exactly using the downloaded version of the game. We're going to use the online version of the game, and the other demo, the one that Mr. Hampton posted, is made entirely with the online one, and it works exactly the same. Okay, so we will be able to make something that looks almost identical. To that, only we're using the asteroid again as our player here, and so let's get started. All right, so have the game build here. Create a new project and save it to our resources game chapter 1 game 1 folder. Okay, and create a scene and name it scene game, and then we'll create 3 objects here: player, wall, and goal. Create a new project, empty game. Save as, Google Drive, choose. Fortunately, our GDev resources is sitting right up top. Chapter 1 game, right? And now we can just call this game in that folder. And we've saved our game successfully, and every time we hit save from here on out, it will save into that folder so we can open it back up later. All right, we'll open up the project manager here, add a scene, and we want to call that scene game. We got object OBJ player, OBJ wall, and OBJ goal. Okay. New scene, rename SCN game. Click on that. And here we are, and add some objects. Sprite, add an animation, add okay, call this one OBJ player. And we need a wall. Now OBJ wall, sprite, OBJ underscore wall. Let's find a good one for a wall here. And the castle center is a good wall. And can apply that. And then we need a goal. Okay. Sprite OBJ underscore goal. and we can make a red block. We'll have to resize these, and we'll use our grid to resize these to make them work within the game. Okay. So there's our 3 sprites there. Online users are selecting sprites from those available, and so we've got we're all set here. We're going to add movement for up, down, left, and right for the player. Okay, the same as we did in the game exercises. And we're going to select permanent option rather than instant in the force, and we're going to set the force of each movement to 200. Okay, so let's go ahead and pause and select all of those just like we did in the game exercises. All right, so you notice that we are looking just like we did in the exercises, only these are permanent force, right? We want to make sure that you clicked permanent force on each of these, but the numbers are all the same as they were on the exercises. Okay. The permanent option is chosen because the player object needs to simulate sliding on ice. Once it starts moving, it can't stop until it hits another object. Okay, so we're going to add a condition below each of these. We'll start with the right key, and we'll add a condition below the right key pressed. So it'll be and this is happening at the same time. So we're going to add a condition here, and the OBJ player speed equals 0. Okay. And see what that looks like here. And the overall speed of the player is 0. Add this same speed condition to each of the key press conditions. Okay, let's pause again and get that done. All right, so now you see I just copied that same text into each of these, the overall speed of the object player. So each of these is the right when the right key is pressed and the speed is 0, it will add the permanent force. All right, so we're ready to move on to stopping the player. Okay, we're going to add a new event to our conditions, and we're going to add a collision. The top object is the object player, and the bottom, choose object wall, yes, to ignore objects touching on their edges. Okay. So I'm going to add a new event, add condition, collision, okay, we got to choose the player collision here. There we are. Collision. Test it with the object wall and ignore objects that are touching on their edges but not overlapping. Okay. So that was slightly different than the tutorial, slightly different than the last time I did it. So we need to choose object player and collision and go from there. Okay, so object is in collision with object wall. All right, and we'll add 2 actions to the event. We're going to stop the object player and move the object player away from the object wall. All right, and choose the object wall as the object that will not move. Only object player will move when they go. So first thing, we're going to stop the object. Okay. Object player stops, and then object player separate 2 objects from the object wall, there we go. Move object player away from object wall. Only the object player will move. All right. All right, next we're going to place a couple objects in the scene and test it, okay? We do want the grid on here because we're going to need to reduce the size of these to the single block size there. And we'll move the object into there and move the object wall like that. And then let's play and see the object move back and forth. It should stop and be able to move back and forth between the two objects. Stop. Oh, something didn't work. Okay, time to debug. Okay, I moved it away from the object goal instead of the object wall. We need to change it to the object wall here that I was moving it away from. That was my mistake, and I'm going to leave my mistakes in. Okay, so there we go, and so now it should work. Let's test it now. Boom. Okay, so we got this part done. Okay, what's next? What to do when the player moves outside the room. Okay, there's 4 conditions to make this work. If he's moved off the top of the window, off the bottom of the window, or off either side, left or right. Okay, a series of logical conditions will return true if any of the conditions are true. So we need an or. Okay, if this or that or that or that, right? If any one of these conditions are true. So we need to go to other conditions and find the advanced or. Okay. So we're gonna go to other conditions, advanced, and we're looking for the or. Okay. Or, and let's see what we put in there. Okay. Click to add a subcondition. Okay. Compare the Y position of the object and the X position of the object. Okay. So it needs to be Y less than 0, right? Less than 0, greater than 600. X position is less than 0 and greater than 800. Okay, so let's do one of those and then we'll pause again and we can fill in the rest here. Okay, subcondition. Object player. And we're looking for their Y position, right, is less than 0. Player Y position is greater than 600. Player X position is less than 0 and X position of object player is greater than greater than 800. It's wider than it is it's wider than it is tall, right? It's 800 by 600 is the default on these. Okay, so if one of these positions is true, let's see what we do to it. Okay. And now we're going to add a new object and call it obj text. We're going to add a text object and we're going to drag it into the scene and place it in the upper left corner. Okay, so we're going back into the scene game and we're going to add another object, but we're going to add a text object now. And we call it obj underscore txt, and can leave it blank so that it doesn't show anything until we change something in it, right? And let's just drag it right up into the corner here, and it's invisible because we didn't leave any text in it. If you want to see it, you can leave some text or a letter in it, but then it'll show up in the game. We don't want it to show up until it's time for it to show up, okay? Here, and then we're going to change the text of the object. Oh no, you crashed. Press space to restart. Object text, chain, modify the text, equals, oh no, you crashed. Press space to restart. Okay. Change the text of the object text to oh no, you crashed. Press space to restart. All right. And add an event. Oh, it could be the R key too. I actually like R better. There's a press R to restart. Okay. I have to talk to my friend at LCC about a couple of typos here. I should have caught them. I apologize. I will probably fix them in the next version of this, but let's roll with it for now. So we're going to press R to restart here. And we're going to add action, and we'll scene, pause, and start a new scene. So it's the R key being released. And then we'll add the action of the scene and pause and start a new scene. Okay, so new event. Add condition, other condition, keyboard, key released. Key released. And we want that to be the R key. R for restart, right? R for restart. That's a good one. I like it. Okay. And then our action is that we go to scene and pause and start a new scene. And the new scene is the scene game, the same game. It'll just restart. It basically just restarts the same game. So if you go off the screen, you'll get the text, oh no, you crashed. Press R to restart here. And then the R key is released. it'll start back up. Okay. Now winning the game. All right. Let's take a pause and make sure we've caught up with everything so far. Okay, I hope you took a pause as I took a pause and made sure everything was caught up here. Go back at any time in the video. I really encourage you to pause, go back, restart, pause, do, restart, go back, pause, do, use this video to your best advantage, right? Okay, so now we gotta get the winning the game goal here. And this is where we're going to use a variable. We're actually going to create a scene variable here. All right. So we're going to add, at the beginning of the scene, we're going to add a new event here. Scene at the beginning of the scene, and our actions are variables. Scene variable set to, we'll make one called scene over no. Okay. And we go to variables, the string of a scene variable, and we'll call it scene over, and set to no, and I'm using the capital N on that, so we got to remember that here. What's next? Okay. It looks just like that. And now we need to make an event with check for the collision between the object player and the object goal. Okay. So object player is in collision with object goal. I'm going to stop the player, change the text of the scene variable to yes, change the text of the object text to you completed the game, press space to end the game. Okay, so you have you haven't been shown how to do this, and I'm not going to show you how to do this. I'm going to pause right now, but you've got everything you need. You got everything you need here, and we've done every one of these before. So take a look at the text here, and I will be right back. Okay, just kidding. I'm going to show you how to do it. But if you did pause and you were able to accomplish it, you can skip ahead here a little bit. But we're going to go ahead and create the collision here for this. I think some people will benefit from walking through it. Okay, so when the object player is in collision with the object goal, okay, and ignore when they're overlapping, just in case they go by each other. You saw mine that it went right by the goal. It has to go at the goal to win here. Okay, stop the player. That's our first one. Stop the player. Stop the object. Okay, we're going to change the text of the scene variable here. Variable. String of a scene variable. We're going to change it, and we got to make sure nope. Scene over, and value will be yes. Oh, we forgot to choose an operator. Look, it showed our error. Set to yes. Okay. And yeah, I went red there for a sec. Okay. And then change the text. You completed the game. Press space to end the game. When we're online, we just hit refresh, but we will go ahead. Oh, whoops, we want the object text, and we want to modify the text to set to, and you can mess around with the text a little bit. And the game. All right. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Press space to end the game. That's in the spirit, and you guys can play around with that kind of stuff as we go here. Okay, so we got a little more to go here, and we need to check the space key being released and the text of the scene variable is yes. So we want to make sure that if they hit the space and scene over is yes, then we'll quit the game. And the action will look like that. Okay. Space key being released, the text of the scene variable scene over equals yes, we'll quit the game. Okay. One more look at that. Space key released and text of scene variable. Okay. Keyboard, key released, space key released, and variable, the text of a scene variable, scene over equals, and it's got to be exactly what we put in there. Yeah. Oh, I need that capital Y. Yes. Okay. And then we quit the game. Scene. Quit the game. Okay. So we got that one. And that's everything. And I did put a screenshot of the whole shebang in there. Now we need to build it up and run it. And you want it to be as complex as Mr. Hammond's, okay? Mr. Hampton's. He made a really extensive one. Let's make a really simple one here for the tutorial and then run it, okay? So let's go to the game here. Before we do, let's save where we're at because we just did a lot of programming before saving, and we want to save often, and so that'll really help us make sure that we don't lose any good work here. Okay, so we've got a couple of blocks out there, and so we want to make this reasonably complex. Okay, and one thing you can do is to copy these little blocks and then paste them in. All right, and so you see what I'm doing here. I'm figuring. Okay, so it's going to go boom, 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 boom. Let's make one. Right. Here. Or no, let's go all the way out to here. Okay. And the more the merrier here, right? Now we need a goal, and we really do need to shrink these down to one square. Shrink everything down to a square. That's the intent of this game. Okay, so looks like we should be able to win that pretty easily. Make yours really extensive. Make them hard. They should be really fun to play, right? Let's play this game. Okay. Oh, I missed where one of them should go, right? Yeah, that was that. So you've got to test. You've got to test your game, and test it till you get it right. All right. So I took a quick pause, and I think I debugged everything. Let's test it out now. Here. All right. There were a couple of blocks out of place. Let's see if it works now. Oh, nope, one more to fix. And you know what? My text is in a bad spot too. So maybe I'll just move the goal over to where it won't be right on top of the text. Or I could move the text, but it's hard to see the text when it's in the game. So we can look for the text. There it is. There's the text object. Let's move that up. We don't want to move everything. We just want to move that one object. There it is. There we go. We move the text up to the very tip top. There. And then this one needs to move over just one. And then I think our game is ready. And it takes this kind of debugging to get them to work, right? Okay. Press space to end the game. But we're online here, so we're going to refresh. And that's the other thing that we want to do, is to make sure to add the line. When we're playing online, we want to make sure people know to refresh. Online, refresh to restart. Okay. So that should be finished. Let's make sure we save. All right. Now, if you sign in, you can actually export a zip file. And so I'd like you to create a profile and export a zip file for the game. Okay. So my profile. See, I'm connected, right? You can pay for, the developers who use this pay, and it's not that expensive to have a developer account with these guys. And then just click export, and you want to build an HTML5 game, a zip file. And that's what I want you to turn in, is that zip file. Export as a HTML5 game, and then download the exported game. Okay, and it'll download a zip folder, a zip file that's got the folder on it. We can actually post these on itch.io, and I'll show you when we get to the physics game how to do that so that you can post your games online and have people play them as well. So, fun stuff, huh? All right. Talk to you soon. Please ask for help. Let me know what you need, and I'll be right there for you.